Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Nearly 90's. I'm your host, Bryce Cherney, and with me, as always, Jonah. So, we got another. We got a couple more reviews for you guys. Honestly, we're gonna be reviewing Talk to Me and Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yep.
It's gonna be a little bit of a weird combo, and we're probably gonna get off topic most of the time, but we're gonna try and streamline it for you guys. Don't worry.
Just a lot of modern horror stuff. Horror stuff, yeah.
Pretty much. But yeah, the first thing we wanted to talk about was pretty much Talk to Me. And so I guess more so the plot of this was that there's this, I guess, ceramic hand that teenagers use at parties, and they make a game out of it, and you can pretty much talk to the dead or get possessed by the dead. And as always in these horror movies, it ultimately goes bad for the main characters.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the best takes on modern horror I've seen in a really long time. It's obviously symbolism for like the teenage craze of doing drugs. Like it's a trendy thing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like kids getting fucking high on whatever the fuck's popular at the time,
Right.
drinking, anything you can think of that's like do this to your body. And obviously it's a negative effect, but it's for the fun of it. It's detrimental to you, but you do it anyway. Again, like you're watching it like who the fuck would let themselves be possessed for a high, but also who the fuck would like snort paint,
Right.
fucking take heroin, like anything like that. You know what I mean? Like it's meant to be that.
Yeah,
like,
once you start thinking about it, it does start like getting crazy that these kids are just using it and they get like a high off of it, which is a wild thing.
yeah, I mean, it's just like insert addictive thing here is what the hand represents.
Yeah, pretty much, which is pretty cool. And I guess like the main character in the story has lost her mother,
Yes.
and I guess she's using the hand to talk to her.
Yeah. So, do we want to go into spoiler territory?
We might as well go into spoiler.
So it's
territory.
obviously it's not her mother, it's the dead just fucking with her, thinking that if she uses it, she can communicate to her mother. Like, oh, by such random means and odds, the soul that connects to her is her mother.
Right. That is pretty like how often would that happen?
Yeah, of all the souls in hell or the afterlife or anywhere, like of course it's your mom. Like,
Right.
Are you serious?
Which I think is wild that like this thing just keeps getting passed on though as well.
Yeah, that opening scene is so fucked. It's where the guy like plunges. Okay, so like it starts out with these people. This takes place in Australia. So
Really?
yeah, it's all Australian.
You know what? That does make sense now.
Yeah, it's all in Australia. They're at this party and they're just like knocking on the door, like, "Hey, you okay, man?" to some guy, and he walks out just like kind of just blank expression. It just plunges a knife through his eye straight to his brains.
Doesn't he stab someone else too?
Does he stab someone
I
else
think he
before
stabs
that?
someone and then stabs
Just-
a knife
yeah,
into
then
his
just
face.
plunges it like no hesitation.
It was pretty brutal. I love
He
seeing
winds
it.
that shit up
Yeah. Just right in the head.
enough to get well into the brains.
Oh yeah. But well, I mean, I guess it wasn't really scary. Like I mean, I didn't find it scary. I thought the story was engaging enough that it just kept me watching.
Yeah, the story itself is really good. I don't want to get like super into like favorite parts or I guess most fucked up parts yet. So I guess like yeah, there's the loop where it's him and then you get to realize that it's a cycle that happens when the hand influences someone enough to fuck with them mentally a lot.
Right.
And I think it's when they imply that like don't hold the hand for too long. They have like a minute is what they count
it's
to, like 50 seconds
Yeah,
or
it's like
something.
50 seconds. After
And-
that, they'll want to stay.
Yeah, they are very prone to wanting to stay in your body if you're there for too long, so they cut the plug and take the hand off. And anyone who does it for too long, it fucks with them a lot until eventually the hand ends up with someone else and someone else falls susceptible to the same thing,
Yep.
which is our main character.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, was there anything that felt like off or like bad about the movie?
No, not really.
I didn't find anything like horrible. Like it was a pretty enjoyable watch.
If anything, the only thing that kind of was like falling flat, I guess, a little bit at the end was when she just starts going insane to the point where it's like, this is not gonna end well, or like, I guess it's more like the only thing that had to do, or the only thing she had to do to stop it was to just do nothing. And she just kept doing
She
something.
just kept doing stuff. Yeah, yeah.
It's like literally the one guy was who, it was like a bystander, like a friend or a brother or something to the guy who stabbed himself in the face, who did the cycle before. He's like, yeah, just fucking chill for a little bit. You like, this is terrifying, but they'll go away if you just do nothing. And she just keeps trying. Doesn't she try to keep killing the kid, thinking that like that's the way?
That's the way it needs to happen.
Yeah, like
to like close the gate, I guess,
to
that they
free
opened.
his spirit to kill him, and she's just being
But the funny
manipulated.
thing is that she doesn't realize that she was the one that opened up the gate.
Yeah, it's her, not him. Well, it is him, but also, God, I hope that kid doesn't remember being in hell, because that was the most fucked scene ever.
Oh my God, the imagery of just like all the fucking hands and like
They're ripping into like his stomach, and he's just like there in a dark, slightly tinted red, like
Ugh, dude.
just hell, just actual hell.
dude, that is honestly like a pretty good personification of hell.
The directors for it, the YouTubers, the Racka brothers, the ones who made this.
Really,
They're
YouTubers?
two Australian YouTubers.
That's
and
amazing.
They said that they originally had like scenes in hell for multiple minutes, and they said they had to cut it like way the fuck down because they're like, this shit's fucked. Like, people can't see too much of this.
No, I think they did enough in
And
the
I
movie.
understand, because like literally it was like, what, like between 5 to 10 seconds of just like horrifying imagery. Like maybe there's something where she like walks through hell to find that eventually, which I couldn't handle much more than even seeing that. Like,
Yeah,
that was
no.
fucked imagery.
Yeah, no, I couldn't handle that. And honestly, like, just that poor kid in general.
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, that poor guy.
That made me so anxious, like watching, like I knew something bad was gonna happen, though I didn't expect it to be like a self-harm thing.
No, and that, well, like even like the first time you see it, he's like, I want to try out the hand, and then
Ugh.
he's just getting thrown the fuck around the room and then slamming his fucking face.
Yeah, so I guess context for this is that, so it's a party game where like they all go around, they put their hand on it, they say talk to me, they get like kind of spooked by the ghost. To let them possess them, they have to say let me in. Mm-hmm. After doing so, like that's when they do the counter of like, okay, you got like 50 seconds, we'll take it off of you then. And they have like this younger kid. It's the main character, her best friend's little brother. Not like little as in like a 10-year-old. He's like 15. And
Yeah,
they're
I'd
like
say
in
he's
their
like 14,
20s.
15.
He's like a freshman. She's like a 20-year-old. And he's a bystander to it. And obviously he's just like, no thanks. But then like obviously peer pressure comes in a little bit. He's like, well, I want to try it. And that's when you know something fucked is going to happen now. Yeah. And honestly, before this sequence even starts, I thought it was going to be like her or one of their other friends, because they do like a montage. They've been fucking with this thing all night, and it's like, oh my God, like stop. Like it's people going like, I want another round, I want another. It's like, oh no,
dude, it's so wild.
But then it like the bad shit happens once they like chill out, and then the little kid wants to try it. And at first it's like he's more just scared of, because he realizes, oh shit, this is actually real.
Yeah.
And then it's all fucked when he says, let me in, or I let you in.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, that scene is so fucked.
He gets possessed, and then it starts talking to, I think, was it Mia is the main character? It starts talking to Mia, I think like it's her mom.
Yes.
And
that's what makes her like be like, no, I need to talk to her more and more, and then they like pass the point of like the timer or whatever.
Yeah, and then they start to freak out. They're past the timer. Whatever spirit's inside of him starts freaking out and self-harming him, and it almost rips out his own eyeball.
Dude, it was so gruesome to see.
So,
like, yes, this, I think, like those scenes, I guess, like if I wasn't scared, that's what I would consider scared for me, was just watching those scenes. Is like, that's a little scary, I guess, if not gruesome. Like that's what I thought of it as.
it was so disturbing to watch. And also, if anything, even before that, it's just so anxiety inducing because the second you're like introduced to the whole theme of the hand and the whole thing, it's like you start to use it and you just know what's gonna blow up in a scene and something bad's gonna happen, but they really keep going and going and going. You're like, when is the big bad thing gonna happen?
Right.
Because like there's sometimes where it's like, oh, something kind of wild happened, like, oh, it slammed the door really aggressive, or they're kind of seizing out a little bit, but it's not like something bad is happening.
No, like this, like once you see that little kid get thrown out of the room, it's like, oh shit.
Like this is bad now.
I do like the song they used in their little montage sequence.
Yeah.
Is that a meme song now, pretty much?
Is it? Weren't they playing French music or something?
I don't know what it was.
Because there was one time she gets possessed by a French person, and she starts like acting all flamboyantly French, which the attention to detail is really cool on that. Because there's like a lot of different like types of people or stuff that they get possessed by. Like the first girl, if you notice, like, you see the spirit. Like sometimes they show them, sometimes they don't, depending on how long the scene is.
Mm-hmm.
The first time she gets possessed, we get to see what the spirit is, and it's like this woman who looks like, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It looks like her face is like kind of melted, but I think it's implied, I believe, that she drowned because when Mia talks to everyone, her voice is like gargly, as if like she's underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Like the woman that's possessing her is a drowned woman.
Yeah.
And then too, I remember again, like I watched some interviews of like the directors and stuff, and they're like, we thought of when she first gets possessed, this isn't the movie where like her head reels the fuck back as she's being possessed, and they thought of doing VFX of like her hair being wavy as if underwater, and they decided not to. They're like, no, we don't.
That's too much.
They're like, we don't need that much.
That it would have been cool to see, but it's also a little bit too much.
Yeah, and just all the different details of like, all the different types of dead people that could be possessing you. Like someone of a different language or someone who died in a different way that we get an indication of.
That is true. What do you... I mean, I guess we kind of been talking about the characters a little bit, but like, is there like a standout character for you?
If anything, just kind of Mia, the lead. She kills it.
She does kill it. She was really good in the role. I honestly, my standout was that teenager little kid that just fucking gets wrecked. Because imagine the amount of acting you have to do to make that look realistic.
Yeah, and like the fear he had and shit like that when he was freaking out all those times.
Right. That was just a standout character for me. But yeah, I did like I feel like the standout character moment for at least Mia was just seeing her just like have that little kid in the wheelchair and just like bringing him out to the highway. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Real question though, do you think the toe sucking was necessary?
Dude, that was wild. I forgot about the toe sucking. Dude, it was not necessary. But no, that scares me. I would not want to see
waking up in the middle of the night and having an old woman sucking on your foot.
Yeah, no, I would not want that.
I get it's like it pulled me out. I'll admit it pulled a lot of people out of the moment who've seen it. But at the same time, like it's fucked. Like you wouldn't want to wake up to it. I'd freak the fuck out.
Especially if it was an old woman.
Yeah, that was ugh.
I mean, maybe if it was like a hot goth chick, like this might be a different story.
She's got maple syrup on her feet.
Just lapping the syrup off my toes.
Waking up to the goth IHOP pancake and syrup foot job.
Oh, dude, I would be okay with that. I'd be okay with that. But anything else, I'd be like, yeah, no, this is fucked.
No, but yeah, that was probably one of the only goofy moments where I'm like, this is kind of fucking dumb.
Yeah, no, that do you think the movie could be dealt without that scene?
I feel like it could be obviously altered to not have specifically foot sucking.
Yeah, that's true. There's got to be a reason for the toe sucking.
I think part of it, I'm just being real, might be because it's just two stupid YouTubers who made it, who are like, they're very into meme culture, you can tell. And for the better, because honestly, this is, again, like, it's a huge criticism of modern horror movies where people say, this feels like it was a bunch of 40-plus-year-old dudes who wrote what they think teenagers say and act like, where it's like these are two guys who are like maybe like I don't know, fucking 27 at best, like 20, I don't know, maybe close to 30. And like they understand social media technology and how the fuck young people talk.
Right.
Like they use social media in a way that we do. They talk a way we do. They act everything like people our age do. Where a lot of fucking movies fall fucking flat
That
in
is
that
true.
one. And it's just such a, especially like the use of social media. Like the whole thing starts with the fucking hand being like basically like a TikTok trend essentially.
Oh, heard.
Because remember,
yeah.
it starts out being like like your friends
you
at
seen
school.
this?
Yeah, they show like posts of people seizing the fuck out to like the hand, and they're like, oh, we gotta fucking try that. Like it's trending on fucking social media.
Yeah, I do remember that. I think. Yeah, no. If you saw that on TikTok, would you definitely be like, yo, we gotta try this?
Fuck no.
Dude, I would.
Okay, I'm not. Well, first of all, me personally, like, other than like partaking in fucking greens every now and then, I'm not much of a high seeker. So that's just me personally. But even if I were, I think fucking taking it to potential demon possession, like not knowing if it's real or not at the time. If someone's like, yo, this shit fucking possesses you and gets you high, I'd be like, how about no? Like, fuck no.
Can we just get high? Can we
Yeah.
just deal without the demon possession?
And that's just me. It's like the same thing as like well, not even drugs, just like if you're bringing fucking demons and shit into it, it's like if someone hands me a Ouija board and like, let's do this. Like, even if I'm not like,
That's true.
even if I don't like believe in it, I'm like, why test it? Why do it?
You know what? I would do it. I would be like, yeah, dude, I want to see some ghosts. I don't know if I'd actually like do the let me in part, but I would definitely want to try.
no.
I definitely want to actually see some ghosts, man.
Yeah, like at best, even at my lowest, like I would do like the seeing them at my lowest. I would never fucking let a spirit into my body, like straight up just like take control of me. Fuck no.
I mean, I guess we kind of went into like a little bit of the filmmaking. Was there really like anything that really stood out CGI wise?
It's not CG heavy.
Yeah, that's what I kind of noticed.
And when it's there, it's pretty subtle and good. The eyes a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like when they're possessed, their eyes go like full black.
Yep. That was a good effect though.
It was good. It looked. I think they even did a mix of lenses with CGI, like
That makes sense.
as much blacked out eyes as you could with lenses, and then CG the rest.
That's fair. I would try and do something similar if I was in their feet.
I feel like those got to be uncomfortable. Every
Oh.
time I've heard of like lenses that they use for like specifically movies, like really good quality ones, I've heard that it like fucks with your tear ducts and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and like moisture can't like come out of your eyes or something, and it fucks with it.
The same thing happened with Bill Bixby in the Incredible Hulk show
I think
with
of
the white lenses.
I think of the vampires from The Lost Boys.
Oh yeah.
Their lenses apparently were god awful.
Heard.
I think it's like the one scene where they go into their den and they like kill one of them, and the main vampire dude's like a tear goes down his eye. It's not even like a scripted thing. He just had trouble blinking with the lenses in.
He's like, oh, they're just. Yeah. No, I feel you. I would. I don't like contacts to this day, so I would.
I can never put them in. I've gotten a single contact in successfully in my life, and it took me like an hour to get it out.
Dude, oh god. And then I feel like the Hotel Transylvania movie really just put that in my brain of I don't want to be touching my eyeball to try and grab this little
yeah.
piece of plastic.
Nah, yeah, but
I mean, for filmmaking wise, I don't think there's anything else. What's that sound?
this is Val playing something outside. I think we won't hear it.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, filmmaking wise, I think it was shot beautifully, honestly.
Yeah, it looks great. Is it by Blumhouse? I can't remember.
No, it's by A24, and
A24 will make low budget, high budget movies. Like they take gambles with
Right.
low budget a lot. So.
I like that they do that shit though.
Are you ever sick of like the trend of like A24? That's mainstream because I hate it. Have you ever seen that where it's like hating on A24 for being the mainstream type horror producers like that in Blumhouse? Like, if you can't say like I really like A24 movies in a room without someone calling you basic or something like that.
Really?
I've seen it so much, and it's just like I don't care. They're good.
But yeah, a good movie's a good movie. Either way you spin it, like I think one of my favorite movies from A24 is mid 90's. And that's a movie that Jonah Hill directed. And it's fucking amazing. So like
I mean, I love The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and Robert
oh,
Pattinson.
I have not seen that yet, but I
fucking
need to.
love that movie. It's like my favorite movie.
You want to have sex with a mermaid, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Straightforward.
The
just
mussy.
right there.
The mussy.
I don't.
The mer pussy.
I think if it was like a mermaid in reverse.
And the fish head and a pussy.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, no, I'd be okay. I couldn't. I tried to keep a straight face doing that. I couldn't. But anyways, what are your overall thoughts on this? I guess not A24. What are your What are your overall thoughts on Talk to Me?
I fucking love it. I mean, it was really simple yet really, really effective.
It was. I can't remember enjoying a horror movie.
Yeah, in a while.
Much. Yeah, like I think the last one that we kind of enjoyed was Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead Rise was pretty good. Although Evil Dead Rise is like it's still going back to campy horror. Is
right.
The thing. Like it's getting there with like modern horror, but it's still like it couldn't help but keep dipping into the campiness of the old stuff, which is fine. But it's still like not through and through modern horror.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think again, Ari Aster, I think is like doing pretty good in like the horror realm too.
Yeah.
So I will always watch his stuff, but then again, it's also like he's not always doing horror. Beau is Afraid, I don't think is like truly a horror movie, but it's still like kind of like weirdly scary. So
I really like not Ari Aster. Who's the guy who Robert Eggers? He's The Lighthouse, The Witch.
Okay.
The Norseman's really good too. I like that.
Oh yeah, you told me about that one.
That one's not horror. That one's like a Norse period piece, but it's really fucking good.
Okay.
I like Robert Eggers a lot.
Yeah. Well, what would you rate this out of? I guess let's just do it out of 10. I don't know.
I'd say like probably like an 8 or a 9. Honestly, like,
I would give this an 8. Yeah, definitely.
Anything like I don't believe anything in the movie industry deserves like a 10. Nothing's perfect. But, like, it's just one of those where it's like, I found it really, really hard to nitpick something that actually was like, this just makes the plot suck in some way. Or, like, this character just sucks. Like, everything was really good.
Yeah, no, I have nothing to it's not like, I feel like if you watch the movie over and over again, you're going to find.
Yeah, you'll find something.
You'll find the things to complain about. But ultimately, first viewing, this movie is good. And I have it on Blu-ray, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Also, just a huge win for like content creators because like it was made by YouTubers,
right?
And also it was successful enough to be a fucking international movie produced by A24,
right?
Like, I guess like a big thing that they told them too when they were making it was like because originally they were just gonna sell it to like American direct or whatever, like A24, they'll collaborate with like foreign countries and shit like that. But they're like, well, if you want to like be big, you have to like just sell the script and have it fully made in America and all that. But they're like, no, even if it's not good, we'll do it in Australia. And it fucking paid off like big time. And also, again, just
good on them.
Made by content creators. And it's such a shitty cesspool of films that are like official movies made by like YouTubers and content creators. There's not many good ones.
No.
There's like the fucking Fred series, the Smosh movie. Didn't like Shane Dawson make a movie or something?
Shane Dawson made like a movie about him being fat, I think, or something like that.
I don't know. It's no like content creators have ever just made like an original movie or idea that's like not something stupid to do with their content or something.
It does kind of give me a little bit more faith that I could get one of my movies out there. Actually.
Yeah. And it's just like taking content creators more seriously when they try to do something more serious.
Right. And I'm all for that.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, I guess the only other thing that could be successful coming out is Markiplier's making a movie.
Really?
It's called Iron Lung.
Is it about a vapor?
I
Like,
don't
just
know
a
what
guy
it's
who
about.
vapes?
Okay, I don't know what the fuck the plot is for the movie, but there's a teaser trailer, and all he ever raves about is like the fact that it has more gore than like It Chapter 2, where like that fucking they had like the record for like most
Yeah.
practical gore in a movie, and all the fucking teaser trailer is just him like coming out of just like a giant pool of blood. It's supposed to be dark in some way, but like there's no real details about what the fuck the plot is yet. So
Okay. No, we'll definitely have to review that thing because that sounds like a fucking wild movie.
for sure.
Iron Lung.
And
Wild.
hey, that's also the reason he couldn't be in the FNAF movies because he was making Iron Lung.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because they got that one fucking guy, the film theory guy.
Oh, Matt Pat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a pretty solid transition.
They also did a lot of what was it? Other YouTube and content creators who make FNAF content. They also weave them in by putting them on like Employee of the Month walls and
That's
stuff like
cool.
that.
That's really cool.
So yeah, we can use that to get into the FNAF review.
Yeah. So let's honestly let's just go into the plot of this guy, like,
Yeah.
cause okay, so
Okay,
this
I have knowledge of the FNAF lore. I'm gonna
And
be
so do
real.
I.
Okay. Oh, so you did look up like lore videos of
yes,
this.
yes,
Okay.
I knew the lore before, but I didn't like extensively know the lore until I was like, I don't remember it going this way in the movie, like
In
this
the
way in the
games,
game.
yeah.
So let me go back, and then I was like. But then you also have to take an effect that they're like, well, this is supposed to be an original take on it or whatever.
Okay, I'm not a diehard
And I don't like
fan.
that.
I'm not a diehard fan of this franchise at all. I think it's interesting that it exists. The lore is interesting, but people like I knew this is going to be a negative thing that like people were going to be like, it's not the game, which it fucking can't. There's like 10 of them,
Right.
and all the lore is so fucking weirdly scattered. Like it's not going to be the game's lore, and I'm fine with that. But it's still like it could have been better.
It could have been better. Honestly, just to kind of go through the plot. So it's about this main character, Mike, who becomes a security guard at this rundown pizza place, Five Nights at Freddy's. And
Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, yeah.
yeah, but not fun.
So you went to go work at Five Nights at Freddy's.
For 5 nights.
Also, there's not really a reason why it should be called Five Nights at
No.
Freddy's. I think in all technicality, the movie takes place actually over 5 nights.
Does it?
But they don't emphasize it in the slightest.
I really wish they would.
If they would have like shown like some kind of transition of like night 1, night 2, and actually like dug into that like as part of the title in the movie, but they just keep that name because it's the name of the franchise and that's
Right.
it.
Yeah,
But yeah, continue.
So Mike, apparently he lost his brother when he was younger.
Kidnapping,
And
yeah.
He's trying to find the kidnapper because he thinks he remembers seeing him as a child but doesn't know the face. So he's trying to use his dreams to locate his.
Which it is a theory that actually is a real thing in real life. Like
Really?
there's theories of like you can find stuff hidden in your memories that you didn't fully see like
That's
a long time
cool.
ago. Which I think the book he's reading in the movie is like the theory of that.
Okay.
And there's a reason they do that, and the lore is like a little nod to. I think that is also something that is hinted at in like some of the FNAF books or something.
I've
like
never
Dream
read
Theory.
any of the books.
Neither have I. It's something that exists in
Okay.
the books.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was. I didn't. Nah, minor. I didn't know that was actually like part of the FNAF lore to like the dream stuff.
I don't think it's like mega prominent. I think it's just like touched upon in one of the books.
And honestly, I feel this movie. I feel like it could go without that dream sequency shit.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's very prominent, so you'd really have to change the plot.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, I get like I don't know, but like that was the part where I was just kind of like falling off of the story, you know?
If anything, I feel like they should have just fucking not made William Afton's prominence and his brother's
Yes.
kidnapping be a thing. If anything, it should have just been the animatronics
It
are
should-
fucking with him to make
it
him
should
think
have-
that they'll give him an answer when they
Yes.
just want to fuck with him.
I think it should have been more so just an introduction
Yeah.
to like the FNAF lore, whatnot. Like like not like give yourself hinting at like, sequels or whatever. Don't try and make a sequel grab kind of movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could insert that lore to make you be like, oh, interesting. Like, but still have it kind of end in a way where there doesn't need to be another movie. And I think if they would have went that way, this movie could have been a lot better.
Yeah, I think the dream thing it's interesting, but it's not something that needed to be so relevant in the
Right.
plot. Again, I think like he didn't need to know what happened to his brother. It's not something that was necessary to be like it was actually William Afton who took him after all. Like no,
Like I feel like that was gonna be the reveal in the second movie. Was that like because they don't generally reveal that, do they? Who took his brother?
his brother. Oh, in the fucking lore, it's not anything like that. There's
No.
nothing with a kidnapped brother.
No,
There's
nothing like that.
In the fucking games, Michael Schmidt. They call him Michael Schmidt in the movie. Michael
Is
Schmidt
the
is
son of
Schmidt is an alias. His actual last name is Afton. He's William Afton's son, and the little brother, I guess, in the context of the games, would be his little brother who
got chomped?
Who got chomped? The bite of '83.
Yeah. So it's just kind of weird that they switch up the lore that much. And in that way, like I get maybe making like Mike a different character, and then maybe like adding. I guess I didn't hate that they made the police officer.
Yeah, I was just about to say
like the daughter of William Afton.
That was the most useless. Like that was the dumbest, I think, variation or shift from the games. Like,
yeah.
Nothing about that was necessary. Like not really. In
Didn't
the end,
need to be there.
It really didn't. And
but I think the reason they did that is because in the second one they were going to reveal that there was two owners, and Mike was the father of the owner that we didn't know about.
There is lore, and there is like an end credit thing technically.
I didn't
So
know.
It's not a scene; it's an audio cue from the games that hints at what's coming. So, do you remember the puppet?
Yeah.
You know how it's William and who's the co-owner? I can't remember the name.
I can't remember the.
You
other
know what
guy.
I'm talking
yeah,
about?
I know
the guy
other co-owner.
the guy who made Freddy Fazbear's and like the whole chain with William Afton. His daughter's spirit is in the puppet, and she's the one who makes all the others possessed in turn. So in the game, she like has like certain audio cues. The puppet in the end credits at the very very end, you hear like an audio thing of like it's spelling out something. It's like a robotic sounding voice saying letters that spell out like I think it's like I'm here, I'm coming or something like that. And it's the voice of the audio cue for the puppet in the games.
Interesting.
So the puppet is something that exists apparently in it.
Is the puppet going to be the main villain then? Because they killed William Afton.
Well, he doesn't die. Remember in the games, he
becomes like a
he's
possessed,
Springtrap.
Yeah,
he becomes possessed like the others, but kind of like I guess still there in a way that the others aren't, because the others are kind of like tortured souls of children that are like scared and confused. I think he's very conscious of what he's doing, even when he's like a spirit in the suit.
Weird, but fair enough. All right, I gotta bring this up, man. So, was William Afton just diddling these children?
I think his thing was, well, I mean, you could imply that it was like a pedophilic thing in your own mind. Like, you can leave that up to interpretation.
That's at least where my mind goes when I hear of like a man stuffing kids inside of suits and shit. Like, what was he doing before that with the kids? I
mean, he could just be an obsessed murderer.
I mean, I get, that.
Murderers have like a set target, I guess.
You're right.
I think in the games, I guess, the only thing that kind of keeps him somewhat sympathetic, I mean, he's still like fucking terrible human being, but I think when he starts fucking with other children in the games is after losing his son, and I think it's like
a spite thing.
I think, yeah, something like that, or I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, or maybe it's to like understand, because no, he doesn't get possessed into the suit. Well, he does, but because he's in the Golden Freddy suit. but I can't remember if he gets possessed right away because I thought I remember the puppet is the one who starts putting the spirits inside of all of them.
Wait, no. Who does possess the Golden Freddy suit?
It's the son, the youngest son.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So maybe like the understanding of, I know my son's spirits in this, so I'm going to fuck around with kids' spirits in these more or something. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I'm not remembering that perfectly how the lore goes, but there's at least something there that kind of triggers his obsession with killing kids. And I don't think there's any implications as anything other than killing them in the game. So yeah, there's that. And then I don't know. They could have done William Afton better.
I feel that. Absolutely.
Also, like, how the fuck was he like impersonating a career manager?
Why was he?
Why was he impersonating a career? How? Why do you have a different name?
Does he do this just to get security guards, just to kill them? Like, what's the point?
And why would he not just go by the name William Afton? No one knows that William Afton's a murderer,
right?
So why did he have a fake name working at a fucking office with a normal job to lure security guards in? Like, I know it's for the sake of the plot twist, but like, he wouldn't need a fake name.
No.
And then also, I think what kind of kills him in the end with like the hype of his reveal as Springtrap in the end, or like just being like there in the golden Bonnie suit in the end, is like they shove it down your throat that he's gonna be there.
Right.
Like the opening with like the little like sprite animations and all that. It's like golden bunny, golden bunny, golden bunny. It's like, okay, I know it's coming. Like, it would have been cooler to just ignore that, like maybe hint like one or two little graphics of it, and then like continue on the movie as is, and then it's him in the end.
I truly think that William Afton should not have like been a part of this movie. I feel like it could have been. I mean, not like saying it should be more like the game, but if it's more so just that you're dealing with the actual animatronics than like dealing, because I feel like that should have been.
Yeah, they made it more about the child murders in William Afton's lore than they did about the animatronics themselves being a threat, which they were.
They were, but they also weren't after a while.
Yeah, I think the biggest tonal shift that I'm like, okay, this movie's never going to scare me at this point in the movie, is when they make a fucking fort with fun,
I was just
uplifting
about
music.
to bring it up.
Like, why the fuck is it so
It brings you out of the
now?
movie.
It's
I
so
feel.
out of them being scary. Like, the first time when they're kind of acting like quote-unquote nice is kind of unnerving because, like, they're only being nice to the girl. Like, when Michael goes over, they're like...
Yeah, they're like,
they don't like
I could
his
fuck this guy up right now.
Yeah, they don't like him. And it's very obvious that there's something more going on, but then they're just nice. And it ruins it. And then they, like, make them the victims of, like, they're being controlled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, this isn't, like...
Is it really?
I don't like this. It's not scary at all. And
no.
Another one is, it's not necessarily something that needed to be in the movie, just something a little more visceral with the gore and killing.
Yes, I do believe.
I get it that, like, technically all of the games, none of them have a lot of graphic violence. Not really. So I get that it's like you're not going to see a bunch of gore everywhere, but I think it would have been better.
Do you think this movie would have dealt better with a rated R?
Yes, it would have. I think it would have. Honestly, parents will take their kids to see an R-rated movie anyways. They don't fucking look at ratings anymore.
I think it's bullshit.
They don't. They really don't look at ratings anymore. That's why there's so many fucking news articles of pissed off parents when they take their kid to see a movie that they brought their 10-year-old to see Deadpool. You know what I mean?
What do you expect's gonna happen?
They'll do it anyway. Just make it whatever rating you think is necessary for the maturity. Because, like, some of it was just, like, goofy. Like, from the very moment that the cupcake bites the guy's face, like, you didn't even need to do, like, gore everywhere, like just something like crunching sound effects, something that like he's just getting fucked, but it's just him screaming muffled, and that's it. Bonnie in the closet killing the guy, it's just like a bloody hand, like again, like even like some more disturbing Foley to that.
I think just adding some more sound effects and actually, just
making it feel more violent, visceral, even without showing it. Like the only one that genuinely I'm like, holy shit, that was a good one, was Freddy when he bites the girl in half. Like that one was clever. Solid. I like that. They didn't need to show that, in my opinion. I think that was effective.
Yeah, no, I dug that one. That one was definitely my favorite. But it's also like Those are really the only kills in the movie then.
Yeah, they just fuck up those people that break in, and that's it. And then William Afton, which again, like, if we saw a little bit of gore, just something way more intense with his reaction to, like, he's being fucking mangled from the inside.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like, oof.
It didn't really look that painful, but it probably was.
He was just kind of like letting out a sigh and a gasp as he's being like ripped apart inside.
I imagine, like, because, like, even though it's an 8-bit animation, when you see William Afton, like, get fucked up in the suit, there's a lot of blood coming
it's like
out of it.
Blood's coming out of it. He's like seizing.
Right? Like, I wish it would have been a little more like that.
Also, not gonna lie, it was way more lame for him to like take the hat or like the Bonnie helmet and he put it on himself.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it would have been better if he was like in pain and they fucking force it on him or something and then they drag him away.
I think that would have been cool. I think it would have also just been cool to see him, like, actually just terrified and jump in the suit.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would have been just a better way of doing it.
And then I always come back at the end.
Yeah.
That was just so forced.
I know we haven't even said it yet, but I mean, like, Matthew Lillard did, like, kind of kill it in the role, but also, like,
I like how excited he was for it.
he was.
He was so hyped on social media for it.
He was, but also, like, I don't know. I felt like it was a little bit overacted.
Oh, yeah, but
I didn't hate it. I like Matthew Lillard enough.
Yeah, he was good.
So.
Also, kind of a bummer he didn't turn out to be British like William Afton.
Yeah, that could have been fun to see.
Yeah,
Super fun to see.
I don't know. I get that it's not going to be the full game's lore and all that stuff like that, but it could have been so much more.
It could have been. Absolutely.
And I mean, if anything, it's not like terrible. It was still entertaining to watch, sort of. Like, it wasn't like, damn, this movie just fucking sucks. It was just the most like time passing, like, whatever movie.
It was almost mundane.
Yeah.
And that's probably the worst thing a movie could be, is just normal.
That's fair. Yeah. It was just like a turn off brain. Like, it's fine. It's passable. It's not like anything crazy. The only thing that really deserves kind of praise in this is just the
animatronics itself.
They are real animatronics and they're fucking wild.
And they look great. Goddamn.
Straight out of games, like straight
Absolutely.
Up, perfect.
And I think that just goes back to how long this movie's probably just been in production.
It's been since, like, I don't know, since they're making
since the first game was released.
I think it was, well, I mean, when Scott Cawthon or Coffin or something
like that.
Like, when he was making the first, like, I don't know, fucking 1 through 4, he pumped them out. Like, only like a couple years he made like 1 through 4.
It's not very hard to make those games.
When he was pumping them out, like, it was just blowing up, and like Blumhouse, like, yeah, we'll take it, and then they've been in production for a long ass time.
Just some bullshit. But I don't know. See, I also want to figure out what the other scripts of this movie were like.
I don't know. Well, I think Scott himself, like, approved this script, which I get that it's like, as the creator, he probably had to be at some point like, it's not going to be my games. So I get if he's just like, whatever, just, go with this. But I don't know. There could have been something better. There had to have been.
I feel like there's going to be a video coming up, at least in the next couple of months, on YouTube of like what WTF happened to the FNAF movie or whatever, and it's going to talk about all this other scripts.
Well, they might just keep making them, because even though, again, we're kind of like, yeah, it's mundane, financially it did great.
That is fair. I also didn't look at it
Opening weekend, I think it made like fucking 10 times past its budget.
That is fair, because I actually went to go see this in theaters.
So did I. I mean, we both have girlfriends. We have to. I don't know why it's such a trendy thing for like a female community with Five Nights at Freddy's, but
it is.
It's a really big thing where like it's a big female community that
maybe
goes into
like
the lore.
The animatronics are cute. Like, that's
Sexy
all I got.
That's the guy.
Chica thick, man.
I mean, do you even want to get into the community for this?
I don't think we need to get into the community at all. I think that's just getting to a realm that we don't need to be in.
It's interesting.
I mean, I don't think there was like, other than the animatronics, like the movie was pretty basic. Like, I don't remember the score standing out to me or like anything like that. It's only
the opening music wasn't that bad.
I guess the end credit song was pretty solid.
That's like a meme. Five Nights at Freddy's track that someone made like years ago. That's just super popular.
That's
that
hilarious.
They used. I have expected them to use like, gosh, there's some other ones that I was like, I wonder if they're actually gonna play this. It's the, gosh, I would have to look it up. There's like some really really iconic like fan made Five Nights at Freddy's music that I'm like they're gonna play at least something for the ending. And sure enough, they picked one meme song. So
right, you got it. But should we do final thoughts? I feel like we're at final thoughts.
Yeah, sure, we can do final thoughts.
My final thoughts in this movie was ultimately this movie could have been better. Did I enjoy watching it? Yeah, I thought the dream sequence stuff was cool, but could have been cut out. Ultimately, maybe it's just me liking the game so much that I'm ultimately like, I do want it.
Have you played the games?
Yes, I played the first 2 games.
I am on night 5 of the second one right now. I fucking hate FNAF 2.
Dude, they're so hard. I think the second one
FNAF 1 is damn near like the easiest game ever. FNAF 2 fucking sucks. There's now like what? The first one's like what? 5 animatronics I think total. No, 4 only. And
do you
5
count
I guess
Golden Freddy?
Yeah, Golden. He's like a fucking 1% encounter rate
right?
Though. But like for real, like it goes from like 4/5 I guess enemies that are a decently predictable pattern rate to like now like 3 new ways they can jump you, and now there's like 11 to micromanage.
Yep.
With the fucking music box being just a chore.
Right. Yeah, no, it gets a lot harder in the second one.
Oh yeah, it fucking sucks. I was just streaming the franchise since seeing the movie. I took a break when Lethal Company came out, but
that's fair. No, I would have done the same, honestly. But yeah, other than that, I thought the movie was okay. I'd give this one a solid 5.
I'd give it a 5. It's just its only crime is, well, I mean, we just spent like the last like 30 minutes digging into it, but its biggest crime is just being just very average.
Yeah.
Like even though we really dug into this and like ripped on it like a lot, it's still like not terrible. It's just fine. It's sometimes even funny and like enjoyable in a bad way at times.
Yeah.
Not too much, but it's not good bad movie. It's not that level.
It's not in that realm, but ultimately I would say give it a watch, make your own opinions on it, because I think it's worth at least one watch.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Willy's Wonderland, but not quite. I'd honestly watch Willy's Wonderland more. At least you get some violence, even if it's like oily shit instead of like gore to like hide the bloodiness and the maturity of it. But
it is what it is, But yeah, is there anything else you got to say about this movie? Because I think I said my piece.
I think I don't really have much else to say about it. I mean, it's average. It's all right. It's fun to rant on, to be honest. Even though it's like negativity surrounding it, it's kind of just fun to dig into it. It's an easy target. It's kind of fun to just rant about how stupid it is.
Especially with how long this movie took to come out. Like, this movie should have been out like a good couple years ago already, like before the pandemic. Like,
oh yeah.
And like, I honestly thought there was gonna be no Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I was for certain that there was gonna be none. Like, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be just nothing.
I guess the next and final thing is when they make, because I say when, I feel like it's gonna happen that they're gonna make another one. Is it going? I doubt it's like FNAF 2, because that's like a prequel. I don't think they'll do that.
Okay, yeah.
So my thoughts are either FNAF 3 themed with Springtrap and like the horror building, or Sister Location. A lot of people want to see
that. I think I would rather see the horror stuff, the Springtrap.
I feel like that would be the easier thing. I feel like Sister Location's really fucking
feel
bold.
like
That's really bold and very lore heavy.
No, yeah, that's got to be number 3 if you like the third movie.
Yeah, or just do like, I don't know, a fucking security breach, I guess. Even though that's not even horror at that point. That's
right.
not.
And then once you start getting into the realm of it being like VR, I'm like, what the
glitch trap stuff? Or,
Yeah.
I guess though, if it's gonna be the puppet, that is very prominently FNAF 2, but at the same time, I don't see them doing just FNAF 2.
No.
Because FNAF 2 is just FNAF 1 in the past with just like the toy versions, the animatronics with the old ones.
You
That's
know what
all
I
it
would
is.
like to see in the second one?
What?
I would at least like to see them talk about the bite of 89, if not see a scene of the bite of 89. Because that would be cool.
I don't think that even really happens in the movies, though.
No, but it'd be cool to see.
It's his son in 83, and then 87 is at the end of the shift of the week of FNAF 2. Because FNAF 2 is like a prequel, and then like the end of the week, it bites the fucking guard or something during the day.
Heard. But yeah, I think that's it.
I'd be excited to see the puppet, though, not going to lie.
I would love to see that thing.
It's very different from the others and creepy in a
'Cause,
different way.
Like at that way, like at that point, do you even do it as a puppet, or is it just all CGI?
Yeah, it's true. I don't know if that would work for an animatronic because it's mostly just like these lengthy, like noodly limbs.
Like it'd just be like floating around.
You could have it like on a rig
On
and
a
then
rig
and then do
hanging?
CG when it does like a jump.
Does it do jumps?
It'll jump scare you in the games.
Oh well, I guess I was like
don't-
jumping in the air.
I don't know how it walks if it does walk in the
I
games.
think it just floats.
Does it just kind of float?
I think it floats. Like
I
it
think
kind
it
of
like
just
hovers with like its feet just like
Yeah.
over the floor,
I think that's how it.
which
yeah.
is fucking creepy.
Yeah. No.
I feel like that'd be one of the most terrifying ones to get killed by because there's like always such a seriousness of it in like FNAF 2 and like from then on when you get the lore of it where it's just like don't let the puppet get pissed off whatever, like even though you're being attacked by like 10 fucking animatronics that want to kill you, whatever you do, don't let that fucking puppet get you.
No.
So it's always like the feeling of like this is the worst one to piss off.
That is true. It is the king or whatever. It started the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anything else?
No, I think we're good.
All right. What did you guys think of Talk to Me and Five Nights at Freddy's in the comments down below? And thank you to Nikochin for our thumbnail art. And we have all of our social media stuff and everything else we do in the description down below. Remember to hit that like button. Remember to hit the subscribe button. And remember to hit that notification bell so you know when we're actually posting. Yeah, I think that's all we got to talk about. Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
Deuces.